गया? Now it's come. अच्छा वाला ये.
Most welcome, Dr. Mao.
Yeah. So, is it yes?
Welcome, sir, Dr. Mao. Yes. Next, welcome all of you, my dear friends, and I we had a very brief lunch break, only 45 minutes. So yes, I hope you are back here. Next in this series is Dr. Ashiho A. Mao, and he's going to talk on exciting world of rhododendrons right now. And after his talk, is going to be our own Professor Paramjeet Singh is going to talk on wild Himalayan bamboos at 3:30 p.m. And tomorrow morning we have a session by Arvind Madhyastha. He's going to talk on mollusks. So please stay tuned. So today, let me introduce Professor Mao. Dr. Ashiho Asohi Mao is from Northeast, basically, and he has done his PhD in plant systematics, and he is the Director General of well-respected Botanical Survey of India. And he has been serving for the last many years, and he has done a number of contributions in the field of plant systematics as well as taxonomy. And he has published checklist of flora of Nagaland, and he has handled a DBT project on preventing extinction and improving conservation status of threatened plants through application of biotechnological tools. And he has also worked on micropropagation of RET species of Northeast India. Yes, so he has already also been working on the tissue culture and related topics as well. So please be tuned, and in case you have any doubt, you are welcome to interact with us on our comment section. So please make sure that you are not flooding that comment section with a good morning or good afternoon messages, and only relevant questions. Yes, he has also published flora of Amchang WLS Assam.
They can hear me or no?
Flora of Amchang WLS Assam and flora of Yango Bokoi Lokchau in Manipur. And welcome, sir. Welcome, Dr. A. Mao, and stage is up to you now. Please start your presentation now. Sir, you would need to unmute yourself. Yes, perfect.
अच्छा चंद्रशेखर. Yeah, speaking. Okay. I mute myself. This one. He is still
muted. Yeah, now it's.
So, but then now, I need that PowerPoint where to put. My PowerPoint.
You want to share a PowerPoint?
No, I have to start speaking with that, no?
Dr. Felix, it would be better if you can help Dr. Mao to share the video, PowerPoint.
पता जी कहाँ से PowerPoint लाना है? Yesterday you were showing me.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Felix, you are also on the muted status, so unmute yourself and then suggest the Dr.
Sir, there is an option there called share screen. You have to click on that share screen, that blue icon on the below. Do you see that icon, share screen? Sir, you're muted, so you need to unmute so we can talk. You're muted, sir. You please unmute yourself and then we can talk. And there is an option there called share screen. And once you click the share screen, there is a window will come and you have to click on the PowerPoint and then click share button.
Portion of screen.
Do you see a share screen
I have
icon?
gone to share screen,
Yes.
and from there,
You have to click the PowerPoint small, the window will come, click on the PowerPoint and then click share. That's it.
Wait.
oh,
Sorry.
okay,
Sorry,
okay.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
You would need to click that window, the PowerPoint window, and then click the share. One more, there is a button there, share, that blue button, and then it will be presented.
Is it working, Dr. Mao?
Alternatively, you can speak on rhododendrons of Himalaya without PowerPoint as well. That is also absolutely fine, sir.
I think the screen of the Dr. Mao is halted, so now there is no movement on the screen of the Dr. Mao. So
Yeah,
something
perhaps
happened
it's
with the connection also.
yes. Yeah, connection is also quite low, maybe. So participants, please stay tuned. We will be right back. Maybe give us some time, 5 minutes. So this kind of technical glitch is very common. So it is the first time in our Tangled Bank series. So please, please stay tuned, and we will be right back. Our guest is having a little bit trouble with the internet issue. That is very common everywhere, right? So please stay tuned.
Dr. Felix, make a call to him if it is possible. If possible, then make a call to him.
Yes. So I have an update. It's basically the introduction went off. So we will have to wait till Professor is back online.
Yeah, it's now, it has come now.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. You can start your talk now, or you can
This one
start.
I need to do.
I started.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry for the little bit technical problem. So couldn't start on time, but I hope you don't mind for that. First of all, I would like to thank the university for giving me this opportunity to share a few things about the flora of India and with special reference to rhododendrons of India. So since I'm from Botanical Survey of India, I would just like to brief a bit about the plant diversity of India. First, before I start the rhododendron part, so that people have some idea about the rich biodiversity of our country. I'm sure, of course, the students must be knowing already all the detail of, because in the classes they must be doing biodiversity or floristic diversity of our country. But still then, since BSI is the oldest department, scientific department in the country, you see, if you, I'm sure, whether many people are aware of this or not, BSI is the oldest scientific department in India. It was set up in 1890 by the British. The British was very clever. They know what is the most important during those days. Plant wealth of the country was the most important. That is why they set up the organization like Botanical Survey of India. The mandate was to survey, then explore, collect, and document the flora of the country. So after the reorganization of India, after independent India, Botanical Survey of India was reorganized, and we set up, presently we have 12 regional centers all across the country in different biogeography zones. And in the Calcutta headquarters, we have 4 units, like Central Herbarium, Indian Botanic Garden, then Indian Museum is there. Then we have the Central Botanical Laboratory is there. So all these are there. So now here, India is very unique in its position in the global position. You see, we are at the tri-junction of Afro-tropical, Indo-Malayan, and Paleo-Arctic rims. That's why the country has suitable, the different type of climate suitable for different type of plants to grow in the country. For that reason, India harbors very rich biodiversity, both plants and animal. And for that reason, it is considered one of the 17 mega biodiversity area in the world. And for this, I would just like to say, India occupies only 2.4% of the global geographical area, but we harbors 8% of the global taxon of flora in India, which indicates very rich. We have a high number of flora. Then, if you look at the thing, out of this, about 28% of our flora are endemic to the country, which is about more than 4,000 species are endemic to India. And now, if you look at this thing, the rich flora of the country is concentrated in 4 areas only, mainly in 4 areas. And these are the 4 hotspots in the country. And that is among the 36 36 global hotspot in the country. I mean, in the world, that India has 4. And that is Indo-Burma, covering Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Andaman Islands. Then Himalayan region, covering Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, northern part of West Bengal, Sikkim, and northern part of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Then Western Ghats, that is the Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. Sundarland, that is the Nicobar Islands. So these are the 4 hotspots where the rich biodiversity of our country is concentrated. So we can see. So I'm not going to give the detail. So now let me just give briefly in terms of the floristic diversity in the higher plants. Here, currently in our country, if we talk about the angiosperm, we have recently BSI has brought out the plant checklist, the checklist of flora of India, the angiosperms of India. And in that we have document all together 20,414. This is the checklist of flora of India, the whole angiosperm flora checklist. It is for the first time we're bringing out. So in this, we have a total of this 20,414, out of which there are about cultivated species, so there are about almost 1,500 cultivated species are there. So including that, it is coming to 20,000. So and then there are the 10 dominant families among the flora of India are like Asteraceae, Leguminaceae, Rubiaceae, Rosaceae, Euphorbiaceae, Lamiaceae, then Scrofulaceae, Asclepiadaceae, Balsaminaceae. These are the 10 dominant species, families in the angiosperm flora. Then among the genera, you'll find that the genera which are dominant in our country, you'll find like Crotalaria, Impatient, Rhododendron, Primulas, then Taxum, Euphorbia, Syzygium, Strobilanthus, Ficus, Pedicularis. These are like dominant species from dicotyledons. And from monocot, you see Carex, Bulbophyllum, Fimbriastylis, Eriocolon, Dendrobium, Cypress, Harbonaria, Boa, Iria, Oberonia. These are the 10 dominant genera from monocotyledon. So now I've just given a brief of the outlines of the floristic diversity of our country, that is the angiosperm plants. Now, I just wanted to concentrate my talk on the rhododendrons of India. You see, rhododendrons are one of the most interesting or the fascinating group of plants in the Himalayas, mainly concentrated in Himalayas, except one that is found in Western Ghats, that is in Tamil Nadu, that is Rhododendron arboreum subspecies Nilagiricum. That is the only species found in Western Ghats. The rest are all found in the Himalayas and Northeast India. So right now, I'd just like to introduce to you all the rhododendrons. So rhododendrons belong to the family Ericaceae.
Might he had some problem in connection, Dr. Felix?
Yes, Vinay. So yeah, let us wait for him.
And sorry, it went off. So in the world, there are over 1,100 species of rhododendrons are there. And in India, we have at present documented 132 taxa, and mainly from Northeast India. So, but in the world today, there are over 10,000 hybrid in horticulture. So it is very popular in horticulture. So if you think of this beautiful rhododendron plant, actually I was planning to show the PowerPoint presentation, but due to not expert in this, how to give the PowerPoint presentation, I am not able to show. Otherwise, I have got very beautiful photograph to show that about the rhododendrons. And then why rhododendrons are so important is it's because of the beauty of the flower. Today in the world, it is considered as a multi-million-dollar horticulture industry. But in India, in spite of this, we have so much rhododendrons, especially in Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, and then in this Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and Kashmir. We have not tapped this potential of these rhododendrons in the country. So here, actually the story of rhododendron in India is very interesting. In the 1796, Captain Hardwick, who came to Shivalik Hills in Kashmir, saw the beautiful rhododendron flowering in the hills. And this was the first time for an European coming to India. So this thing, then he took some and took it back to England. From there, people came to realize, and it was so interested. They were very fascinated by the flower. So again, this in the year 1884 and 1850, Sir J.T. Hooker, he came to Sikkim for exploration. And during this brief exploration, he came across so many rhododendron plants in Sikkim. And he collected during that short time 34 new species, and he has make a detail of 43 species from India in his monograph. So if you were to see the rhododendron in India, I would just like to say that the diversity is so high. It can be epiphyte, it can be lithophyte. Many of you may be thinking that rhododendrons are only trees and like that, but it is not. Rhododendrons, some of them are epiphyte, some of them are lithophyte and growing on rocks. Then it can be, the size of the tree can be just 1 foot to 130 feet or so, up to that. So the range is so much, difference is so much. Then even the leaves, if you look at the leaf, some of the plants will have 1 centimeter across or centimeter leaf. Then the largest leaf, like Rhododendron Sinogrande, it has a leaf of about 1 meter long. The leaf is so long like that. Then the size of this flower, again, it can be 1 centimeter to 20 centimeter across, also the flower also like that. So it is the range of this diversity is so high. And if you look at the flower, you'll get almost all type of flower color. You'll find yellow, red, this bluish, purple, almost all type of color you can see, like you can find like that. Then again, the interesting part is many of these plants are very aromatic. It has beautiful smell. Then also even the flower. And again, this another interesting part is many of these flowers are edible. And also at the same time, they are also very poisonous. That's why in history, it has been said that also they call it also mad honey poisoning. This rhododendron, the honey made from rhododendron flowers, people eat the honey and people get this disease. They get dizziness, or sometimes they get just like heart attack or dysentery. All those things happens like that. That is why the flowers, because in that flower, the nectar contains one granatosin. So in this granatosin, what happened is that it's like neurotoxin. So the people who eat get, I mean, it is not very fatal, they say, but then they can be, for few hours, it can be very uncomfortable, or sometimes if there's proper treatment is not given, people may also suffer severely. So that is there. And then, of course, in the rhododendron, you'll find that the range of distribution is so vast. You can find the plants growing from 700 meter to up to 6,000 meter altitude. Then also you can find from subtropical evergreen forest to up to alpine. So that's why the distribution also is very wide. Then you see the flowering time also differs from based on the this altitude. In the lower elevation, it starts from like March to April, and then May, this is the peak season. But in higher altitude, it will start from the end of May, April, and it goes up to June, July also. That with the exception, there are two species which flower in autumn. That is Rhododendron casuine and Rhododendron consinoides. In India, it is found in Arunachal Pradesh only. So one may ask, what are the character used for identification of rhododendron? In rhododendron, two characters are mainly used for identification. That is lepidot, scale present, that's on the leaf. Scale present, elepidot, scale absent. Then in that, these are the character normally used for identification of this rhododendron plant. And then also the indumentant, the hairy light under this lower surface of the leaf, which is a woolly, and then it has a different shape. And that is used as one of the character for identification of the species. And it is also very interesting that this rhododendron, lepidot, that means present, scale present, elepidot, scale absent. It has been found that in horticulture also, it is difficult to hybrid these two species. I mean, these two groups, the lepidot and elepidot, it's not possible to hybridize. That is what they say. So in India, Rhododendron arboreum is the most dominant, and that you'll find from 750 or 700 meter to up to 3,000 or maybe up to 4,000 meters, so it goes up. And also the variation in the color, in the size of the tree, it's so high that if you see at the lower level, you find that it's a big tree. But when you go up to 3,000 meters on the hill, you'll find that it's a small shrub. Then also the color of the flower, dark red, like in the lower hills also. But if you go up to the
I don't hear anything. Dr. Vinay, can you confirm?
Yeah, even the same problem from my side, I think.
Dr. Mao, you're not audible. There is some problem with your microphone.
Dr. Mao,
Please recheck your microphone. We could not hear you. Please still continue.
Dr. Mao, could you able to hear me? Dr. Mao? Hello?
Dr. Felix, make a call to him.
No, I called. He didn't answer. He was answered.
Again try. There is some.
Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine.
Just
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That is the position of the distribution of species in the in India. And if we are to look at the affinity or the similarity with the different country, you'll find that it has 70% of our Indian rhododendrons are found in China. Then affinity with Bhutan is about 40%. Then 30% with Burma or Myanmar. Then Nepal 25%. So these are the affinity you get. And in our country, we have only 20 species which are endemic to our to India, 20 taxonomies. So now let me come to the importance of this genus, the importance of the genus. You see, I have already said about this earlier, but then the ecological significance. You see, in the higher altitude, higher up in the regions, in the Himalaya, they play a very important role because they are the dominating tree species in the high hills, high Himalaya, and they maintain the rich biodiversity and fragile ecosystem stability of the high altitude. Then also, they are the biological indicator of climate change because nowadays many studies have been done in all over the world, and it has shown the evidences of effect of climate change on the phenology of this rhododendron, and which is a very good species for studies in climate change. And also, as I have already said, that economic importance. It plays a very important, especially in the Western world. They are one of the most popular plants, garden plants, and avenue tree plants. So it is a multi-million-dollar horticulture industry in Europe, US, America, and Australia like that. And of course, in our country, we have not tapped this potential, but it will be good if we can start in the Himalayas, especially Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and this Himachal Pradesh, where good population of rhododendrons are there. We can set up rhododendron in situ conservation or garden light, or some garden can be developed so that it can be a major attraction for tourism, ecotourism can be set up. So because many countries in the world, like in China, they have alpine garden and other rhododendron sanctuaries. Of course, in India, we have rhododendron sanctuary in this Sikkim. Simba Rhododendron Sanctuary is there, Barseh Rhododendron Sanctuary, that there are 3-4 rhododendron sanctuaries in Sikkim, and through which Sikkim government earns crores of rupees every year from ecotourism. So that can be done. A similar type of thing can be done for Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and even Jammu Kashmir side. So these are the things. And also it has also these other uses like this ethnomedicine. Many of these species are used for different purpose treatment by local people. So as I say, some of them are edible flowers. So like Rhododendron arboreum, the red one, which is common. They make wine out of it, or juice, pickle, all they make like that. And then there's a Rhododendron anthropogum, Lepidotum, nivel. These are the dwarf rhododendrons found in the high altitude. And these plants are collected for fragrance or incense. It gives a beautiful, very nice smell. So like Buddhist in Mumbai, if you go to Buddhist temple, they burn this incense, which give a very nice smell that is used for that. Then of course, many of these flowers are used as symbolism, because like a rhododendron nivean is used as a state tree of Sikkim. Then a rhododendron arboreum as a national flower of Nepal. So on, there's other countries also have like that. And then woodcraft, the trees of this, the wood of this rhododendron, many of these are very good for making handle of this cookery, and so many things. These people, the hill people, they do that. Then packaging, many of these leaf, they have very big leaf and thick leaf. So like rhododendron, falconeri, Fopsonai, or Kesengi, they are used for packaging by the local people in those regions. And of course, they are, as I say, already, but then there are poisonous rhododendron species also. In this, if I have already said, in that the earliest recorded was 4,401 BC by this Greece army. They were retreating from Babylon, and they came out. They were resting by the bank of a river, and during that time they saw the honey bee, and honey was there. So the soldiers were so hungry, and they took this honey and they ate. Then after that, many of them were left poisoned. This is what recorded. And then again in 67 BC also, again, it was also recorded. So this kind of records are found, and even in recent years, many publications are there for that poisoning of animals and human beings by this rhododendron. And of course, some of the plants in India also, like in local people, like in Arunachal Pradesh, they use as insecticide, like Rhododendron thompsoni, Rhododendron dalhousie. The leaf of these extracts are used, and they use as this insecticide. And again, the last one is, we can say, the landscaping. In many beautiful many countries in the Western world, they plant rhododendron as an avenue tree or in a garden. So this is very popular because the flowers are so beautiful during the rainy flowering season. If you like March, April, you see the whole roadside is covered with rhododendron flower, so which give very beautiful avenue plants. So that is why it's very popular for planting in the house, garden, and roadside. But which, of course, in our country, it is not possible, most part, because it's too hot. This rhododendrons love to grow in high hill, in the cold place. That's why the hilly regions can do that, but then, or like other places, the temperature or the climate is not suitable for its growth. So that way, as I say, in northeastern, all the states of northeastern, like northeastern states, apart from Assam and Tripura, the others rhododendrons are found. And then in the Himalayas, means like Uttarakhand or Himachal, then Kashmir. These are the places where you get the rhododendron. So what I would like to say is that there are so many areas where exploration is not taking place properly, especially in Arunachal Pradesh. You see, many areas bordering to China and Burma, or this Myanmar. These areas need to be explored because they are so remote. It's difficult, of course. But then youngsters like college, university students, research scholars, they can take it as a challenge and visit all these places. Because if you go those areas, so many places are unexplored or underexplored, and you will get so many new species, not only rhododendron, but so many other new species. We have experience from Botanical Survey of India. And I was also posted in Arunachal Pradesh for some time. So I was there. So we visited so many of these remote border areas of this Arunachal Pradesh and this Burma, this Myanmar and China. At each visit, we get so many new species, new record for India like that. So that's why even today, many areas need to be explored. The most difficulty is that in these areas, you need to go for even a week or more trekking. There's no road or no vehicle road. You have to go walking. And with the villages, you have to go as, with trekking. And you have to carry all your ration, everything. That's why it is very challenging, but it is very rewarding and very interesting to go and visit the city. So many youngsters, we can do that. And we from Botanical Survey of India, we have been planning to take up some joint exploration with universities or other research organizations so that we can go together and study not only floristic studies, but then also in all from different disciplines, if we can come, we can get a better output from this expedition. That's what we have been planning. And the government of India also have been telling us to organize some joint expedition, and we have been planning for that. But then this, I was thinking of taking up this year, but then due to this COVID-19, we could not plan anything. And now, of course, whatever we have planned also, we cannot take up. It will be postponed, and maybe in the next few years, in that I will take up, we are planning to take up like that. So I think it's the study of botany. It's very interesting. Students can, you see, the only problem with the youngsters today is that they don't think botany or zoology as interesting as like biotechnology or some applied subject. It is not true. Botany and zoology, the classical or the taxonomy, it's very interesting. Because taxonomy is mainly to do with phenology, other morphology. We study morphology and describing new species or something. But that's why if you look at the thing, you can say that plants are the best architect, you can say. And also if you look at the way it is designed, you can't imagine it. So there are so many interesting things in the plant to study, not only the taxonomy, but you can study so many, like for engineering. Then now that's why, of course, people are working on the nanotechnology and using this, studying the plants and animal and trying to study the mimicry part. So that is why for the youngsters, there's a lot of scope in taxonomy also. And also, you see, many people today think taxonomy is nothing, because today they are getting a lot of information based on BSI or Zoological Survey of India, because we have a lot of data we have provided, and people are using that, and they're thinking that is easy. But I tell you, data mining is very easy, but to bring the data, you need to go to field, you need to study, and you need to document. Then only data can be, or you can get. And to do that data, to document it properly, you need to have taxonomies who can identify, identify the species properly and document. Otherwise, what is happening today is that today you must have heard about the molecular taxonomy. And molecular taxonomy is also, it's very good, but it is creating a lot of confusion. I have seen myself, I did some molecular taxonomy. So if you extract your DNA plant and you put up, check, verify with the NCBI data, you will find a lot of mistakes there because your plant is not, is coming close to another plant which is in the data of NCBI, which is not related at all, or which is not from the group also. Because what happened is that many people have worked on molecular taxonomy and deposited the data to this NCBI, but wrongly identified and given. And that is why today you get a lot of problems with that. So what my request is, my such advice to people who want to work molecular taxonomy is, you must also be a good taxonomist, then also work, and it should be used as a complementary technique to strengthen that this classical taxonomy. So in that way, I think I'm sorry I could not give you the PowerPoint presentation because I have very good photographs and all the things I was thinking of showing the rhododendron. Because if you don't see the photograph, I don't think people enjoy. And also the table, everything I made, but last moment I'm not able to do. So I'm very sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for giving me this time. And I really like to, now you can ask some question. If anything, I can try to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sir, we are thankful to have you here, Dr. Mao. And yes, so the glitches are really part of the life. So one of the one of the quote which I like is from the Nikki. You're not able to hear me?
No.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dr. Felix.
No, I think he's not able to hear me. I think I'm not sure. Anyway, glitches are fact of life. It is a response to the errors that counts by Nikki Giovanni. She is a very famous American poet. So yes, Dr. Mao has actually went back to his presentation very fast, though it would have been much better if he had presented, but doesn't matter at all. So I really like the way you presented, and it is a lot more lively. And thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. We all enjoyed, sir. Definitely. So the world of rhododendron is such a beautiful world. And recently, 3 days back in our series, Carl Zimmer came, and I was in Bremen a few months back. And in Bremen in Germany, that is in northern Germany, there is a very beautiful park called Botaniska im Rhododendron in Bremen. And it's full of blooming rhododendron. So if Germans can do it, why not Indians, right? We also need to have a beautiful rhododendron park, which I'm not really sure. Many of the participants are asking the same question. Is there any rhododendron park in India where we can see different kinds of varieties?
We don't have as a park, but a sanctuary is there. If you go to Sikkim, Simba Rhododendron Sanctuary, it's really beautiful, like a botanic garden only. That is in North Sikkim. You can go from Gangtok, it takes about 1 day or so to reach there. And it is all bordering to China. That is one of the tourist hotspots. Every year, I think lakhs of people visit during this last week of April to first week of May or second week of May. And you can, in that rhododendron sanctuary, it's like a garden, everywhere flower. So it's beautiful, you can see that. So as I say, of course, that it has a lot of potential, like what you have said, rightly said that in Germany. Germany is in the world, they have produced the highest number of rhododendron hybrids. They are the one who, they are the #1 in production of hybrids. So in India, of course, till date, nobody has done anything to bring up this, to commercialize or to make it as a horticulture plant. Still, we see only in the jungle. That is the thing, that is the part.
So thank you, Mao, Dr. Mao. As we have already director of general of the BSI in our departments, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
that
are,
is
it's our matlab, matter of proud that you are also interacting with our departments. So definitely we earlier met with the director Chandra of the
Chandrasekhar. Chandra, Kailash
Geological
Chandra.
Survey of India. So he invited us to come in the Kolkata. So I hope you will also invite all of us, and we will discuss in a fruitful way about not only of the rhododendron but other plants also. So I have a couple of the questions regarding the rhododendron. So first question is very simple. Why all of you are emphasizing on the rhododendron in the higher Himalayas when there are so many other plants which have much better adaptability as well as the wealth in terms of the medicinal use? So why rhododendron is too much important for all of us?
It is actually rhododendron studies in rhododendron we have not conducted so much, even in many parts of the world also. You see, rhododendron has a lot of potential in phytochemistry studies. Many of these plants have also a lot of chemicals which are we are saying they are poisonous. But who knows? They can be turned out to be a good medicine for medicine. So there are a lot of potential for that, and not because of that also. As I said, that in the horticulture field, we can set up beautiful botanic garden or sanctuaries in Himalayas because they are the dominant trees in the Himalayas, especially the dominant shrubs or tree. So as you know already, they are very beautiful flower. So if we can take care and grow them nicely, it can become a ecotourism, a big boom for ecotourism for the local people. So not only, and also it will conserve the natural habitat and the ecosystem also, in the environment also. So that way, not only harvesting, but it is going to be very useful for the local people. That is why that we are emphasizing on that. And of course, the world also is emphasizing on the conservation of rhododendron because 70% of the rhododendrons in the world are vulnerable or endangered or threatened. So it is a highly threatened species. I mean to say 70% means it's very high. So that is why it is given a lot of importance by global.
So,
So
sir, right now we have almost more than 350 people watching, and I'm really happy to see one of the participants is Vandana Bisht. She was with Dr. Pankaj. Pankaj is also on the panel,
Okay.
and I hope Vandana, you are doing great job. And Vandana sent very interesting question. She had worked on rhododendron earlier. So her
Right.
question is that what are the impacts of the climate change on the rhododendron species with special emphasis to flowering and shifting towards alpine meadows? So tree-lined species of rhododendrons. That is the first part of her question. And second part is that, and why the life form of rhododendron species, that is Rhododendron campanulatum and Rhododendron barbatum, is different in different researchers. That is shrub in some tree and in some. What is the accurate among a shrub or tree among them? So that is Vandana's question. So yes.
I think you see rhododendron when it comes to this climate change, the impact on this species, the phenology we have everybody talk about it. You see, the main flowering season of rhododendron is from March last week to April, May. But nowadays, due to climate change, global warming, you'll find that many of the species are even started flowering in December or January, sometime when you go there. So that shows that climate change, because they are very sensitive to temperature. So the rhododendrons flower well, they start flowering when when the temperature is around 15 to 20 centigrade. So that means if they started flowering in January or even in December, that means the temperature is rising, and that's why it is responding. So it is going to affect that so much. And then how it is going to affect is, you see, many plants in the high altitude, and many pollinators depend on this flower for their food and like that. So if they start the flowering season and the insect migration time or the time is not same, then that will be affect the plant also at the same time the insect or animal which depend on the flower also that will affect and also the that regeneration is going to affect that is definitely. And then of course in the tree line species, this the biggest problem with our country is that we have not set up any permanent study the field station for studying these things. So we all talk about climate change and how it is affecting, but nobody know in reality the practical part. So we need to set up permanent field station where people can sit there for years, not only 1 year, but 10 years, 20 years, continuously monitoring, then only will come to know the detail. So that is why by just one sporadic visit or two visits, we are not going to understand the effect or impact of this climate change. And then the one coming to that question about the shrub or tree of that Rhododendron campanulatum, it is that individual's interpretation, we can say, because sometimes a shrub can also be a tree. Normally, when we talk about shrub, definition mean a tree, a plant, which has so many branches coming out from the base near the soil, and then forming a bush. That is normally we consider as a shrub. And then a tree is having a main trunk, and from the main trunk, so many branches coming out. There are also the trees are bigger. That is one. But if you look at the Rhododendron campanulatum, it looks like more less of shrub if you look at, but it can also be a tree also. That's why it says. What happened is that many trees, it is misleading if you look at just to try to follow strictly the definition of shrub or tree. You see, Rhododendron arboreum, the most common one. If you see in the lower altitude, lower elevation at like 700, 800 meters, you'll find it is a big tree. It is going up to this 30, 40 or 60. You see at 3,000 meters, you'll find it is only 10 feet or even 5 feet tall only. So that is why it is, this by the size definition is difficult, but that's why campanulatum, nothing is wrong saying what shrub or tree that nothing is wrong in that. It can be shrub also, it can be tree also.
As you told, rhododendron genus has too much diversity in terms of different type of the plants, leaf structure, floral diversity. So could you think we should go ahead with the germplasm conservation of the rhododendron because it is a threatened species?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Is there any program that is going on right now for this conservation in this way?
Actually, for any conservation, a lot of money is required. If we don't have money, conservation is not possible. And you see, the biggest problem today we face is that if we tell the villagers in the high hill or anywhere, conserve, you just tell them to conserve. They'll say, what for what? If they are not getting any benefit, they're not going to conserve. Instead that they'll use it for firewood. But if you show them something important, so like what I say, you make it into a sanctuary and conserve it, then when the flowers in big bloom, ecotourism can become a big boom for these villages. People can come and they can get the income generation through that ecotourism. So that way, if we can conserve a big area where this big, very good population of rhododendrons are there, then that can serve as a good ecotourism ecotourism, and then the villagers can get a lot of money. Otherwise, asking them to conserve unless government gives support, nobody is going to go conserve. And at present, our government or I'm afraid to say is that we don't get funds for conservation in big budget.
So there is another question: why horticulture departments of the different states are reluctant to use rhododendron as a horticulture, you can say, plant tree?
Actually, high altitude like Himachal, Uttarakhand, this like Sikkim, they can tell. In Sikkim, they have taken up in Gantok areas. Recently, they have started, about few years back, they started avenue tree plantation with rhododendron. But other places, they have not taken up. You see, this is the mindset of our people only. We always consider anything exotic or foreign, think they are better than our indigenous. That is why we fail to appreciate our own plant. That is the reason we are not able to take up. Otherwise, if they can plant in all this Simla or this in Solan, all this area where they can grow easily and make beautification, then how beautiful it will be. Like just your colleague was telling about this Germany, Netherlands. They have so many gardens, and rhododendrons are not native to those areas, but they have collected from China, from India, from everywhere, and they brought it and they planted, and that they have become like that. So we also need to do. But the only problem with our country is that because India, most part of India is a hot climate condition. So the cold climate area is very much less, and people don't bother for it to do it. So most of our people are concentrating on the lower elevation where other plants can grow easily. So that's it. That is the thing.
So I would like to thank Mr. Vineet Vishal who asked this question about the last question, a horticulture related question. Thanks a lot, Vineet. And sir, actually I did my PhD in Japan. I was a Japanese government scholar. So after 5 years of my PhD there, I do have fond memories of Japan, and I have only one framed picture in my house right now where I'm staying. I would like to show you that picture of the frame. So this is a beautiful picture of a Japonicum, Rhododendron Japonicum from Inamura Yama in Japan. So I'm a big fan of rhododendron, and this topic is perfectly suiting to the thing. And there is one question. Yes.
In our roadside, there are a few rhododendron in Bathinda also.
Exactly. Yes.
In Bathinda,
we have a question from Sucheta Raha, and Dr. Sucheta would like to know which parts of states of India has the most diverse kind of rhododendron varieties. So coming to the rhododendron varieties.
The rhododendron that is in Arunachal Pradesh.
Arunachal, right?
Okay.
Yeah, in Arunachal Pradesh, so far we have recorded 119 taxa. And then in this, still so many places are not explored properly. We're expecting more species because you see in Chinese have documented around 600 species. And India, that part of India and China is sharing border. We expect that so many more species will be there. But the only thing is those border areas, we have not done proper exploration and due to this logistic support and all those things like that. That's why we expect more. Otherwise,
go ahead.
The states, as I said, they are not so much. You like your Uttarakhand and all those like 6, 7, 8 species or like that only. But of course, Sikkim has a very high, 42 are there.
I think Burma also has good diversity. Burma, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh.
Northern part of Burma adjacent to this Arunachal Pradesh. This adjacent to Arunachal Pradesh and China. There's a bordering that high hills, they have a good population of rhododendron.
So is it possible to make the bonsai of rhododendron and put them into a house?
Yeah. People are doing. You find people are doing. I think rhododendrons are. You see, even if you don't make, it is naturally bonsai. So many are bonsai itself. You see, if of course the only thing is the climatic condition. If you see like the smallest rhododendron, like rhododendron navel, or not rhododendron this setosum. This, if you go up to the high altitude, they form like a cushion, and their height is maybe just only half foot or sometimes 1 foot, and they're just like that. They, of course, when it flowers, it's beautiful, but they are like that also. Of course, like arboretum also can make. The people make it, and that they can grow like that. So one can do that.
So we have a question from Ashutosh Misra, and he is from Odisha. And Ashutosh would like to know what is a long-term view of conserving rhododendron in other places of India other than Himalayan region.
So there only in other than Himalayan region, we have only one subspecies in Western Ghat. That is Rhododendron arboretum subspecies Nilagiricum. That is in the Nilamalai hills, so that in Western Ghat only is there. So that way, that is already endemic, and also it's considered threatened because it's very rare there. Also, only very few population. So that is there, but the conservation part, I'm also not very sure about that. What is the long-term plan for that area? But I think that area is already in that reserve forest area or sanctuary area like that. So, and then that due to climate, as I said, most of these plants love to grow in high hills with a cooler climate. So that is the reason, and only one species or subspecies is there in the south. That's only. Otherwise, there's no other place.
So China, BGI, I think, make the plan of the 1,000 plants on which they would like to go ahead with the sequencing purpose. So I think rhododendron is one of them, and hopefully in near future we will get the genomic draft of the rhododendron. But could you think our present molecular taxonomists are not doing enough to identify precisely the rhododendron species?
Actually, what is going on is that there should be, at present, most of the time we are not having proper collaboration. Taxonomists and molecular those who are working in molecular. Because most of these moleculars, they are non-taxonomies. But you see, without the taxonomy cell, proper identification is required before going for molecular taxonomy. If you don't have a proper identification, you wrongly identify and go and do the molecular taxonomy, and you put the sequencing in NCBI, depositing with it one name, which is not correct. This is creating problem with when you sequence your plant correctly. Also, when you put in the NCBI for blasting and to see the phylogenetic relation, you are getting all confusion because of that. And this is that's why if we want to do any molecular taxonomy, I think we need to collaborate with this traditional taxonomies, classical taxonomies, who can identify, then do it, then it will be much, much better, and there will be no confusion. That is what you see in morphology. When you identify plants with morphology, it is very clear cut. We say this is different, that's why we're like that. But in molecular taxonomy, of course, you are seeing the band and you are saying this is like that, but then it's you cannot, the plant will not tell I'm so and so. Only the band it will show. So that is why, no.
So we have a question now from Priyanka Pathi, again from Odisha. It looks like today's session, there are a lot of viewers from Odisha. Thanks a lot for Odia viewers. So the Priyanka is asking a question. From my MSc project studies, I got a conclusion that the distribution of rhododendron arboretum in Western Himalaya will increase in the future. That is 2050 to 2070. How is that possible with the current changing environmental conditions?
It's possible because actually what happened is that Rhododendron arboretum is the species which is very versatile. It grows from very low altitude, which is like 700 meter, up to 3,000 or even up to 4,000 meter, like it is growing like that. So there, when the climate change take warmer, also it can adapt, so it can increase. But those who are at the very high altitude, which grows at very low temperature, they will be the vulnerable one. They will be the first one to be affected. But this arboretum, which can grow up to the very low elevation, they have no problem. So they can adjust and they can keep on going up. So the they can, I mean, their invention can be, I mean, they can go up higher and higher.
So we have in our faculty, another faculty that is also in the panel here, Pankaj Bhardwaj. He is working on the rhododendron. Or these few students who asked a few questions, they worked earlier with the supervision of the Dr. Pankaj Bhardwaj. So Pankaj Bhardwaj even also classified, discriminate the two different species. Earlier they were wrongly placed, and they placed a good paper, and by which they place them in the appropriate, you can say, classes. So it means the few cooperation in near future, the taxonomist and the molecular biotechnologist is highly appreciated, not only in between you and us, but also at the national level. That's why we can go ahead with the conservation and the exploring the chemical diversity as well as the molecular aspect of the rhododendron species all over the India. Yeah.
Actually, you are having advantage because now Dr. Paramjit Singh is there. So he's a taxonomist himself. So it will be very useful for you people to work. So you will have not much problem because he can help in the taxonomy part, whether rhododendron or anything, because once a taxonomy is being, he has some idea or knowledge how to go about with taxonomy. So that is, you people have advantage in that.
So yeah,
Hello, sir.
Felix.
This is Pankaj here. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was a fantastic present. I just wanted to, put up some clarification, which Vinay actually made a few points that the work, the one which he was actually mentioning, that work was not to the rhododendron, but to a very different species that was this taxa. Sorry, Texas contrata.
Oh,
but
sorry,
not,
Texas bacata.
Yeah. So that's the only difference. So, thank you, sir.
Okay. I'm not able to hear. What happened?
Even I could not hear, sir.
Felix,
I think you muted your phone.
Yeah, it's mute. And thank you so much for this wonderful session, sir. And from the bottom of my heart, thanks a lot, because despite a busy schedule, you actually spend 1 hour, more than 1 hour actually. It's more than it's almost 1 hour 15 minutes. Speaking about beautiful world of rhododendron and Himalayas for us, and we are really indebted to you, sir. And thank you so much. Yes, for being part of this program.
Thank you. Actually, I'm sorry for the delay or for that which I could not show you that slide.
Oh, no, not at all. It's absolutely fine.
It would have been very interesting, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I enjoyed it. Yes.
Anyway, you're
Thank you so
welcome to Calcutta Botanical Survey of India. Will always welcome you all. You come, we can discuss about it, and there are a lot of things which we can collaborate, we can do together like that, because we are also looking for collaboration with universities or research institutions in so many aspects, because we don't have all expert in every field. So we need to collaborate and share each other's expertise. Then somehow our research in India can progress and better. So for that reason, we'll be happy to welcome you all. Anytime you all are welcome to visit BSI, because we are also having a lot of plan for this restructuring of our this department. We're also starting the phytochemistry lab. We're also starting this molecular taxonomy lab. Then we're also trying to revamp our botanic gardens with this landscaping or all these things to make it like international botanic gardens, like whatever's in the world, like Kew Garden or others. So we have a lot of plans for coming up like that. So it will be very nice that we can keep on.
Sir, we will be right back. Don't go away. Please, 1 second. Let me finish the session, okay? So let me share the screen. Yes, thank you all for a wonderful session. And next session is by Dr. Paramjit Singh. He's our own faculty colleague. He's professor here. And he's going to talk on wild Himalayan bamboos at 3:30. So we have 1.5 hours. Today is going to be a very busy day. Well, this is the final talk of the day. And after Professor Paramjit Singh sir's talk is going to be Aravind Mathyastha is going to talk on mollusk tomorrow morning 11 a.m. And tomorrow's second talk is in the evening 3:30 p.m. by Dr. Karthik Balasubramanian. He's going to talk on diatom. So thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day ahead. And please grab a cup of tea or coffee. I would have wished to help you out, but unfortunately this is a a webinar going on.
Okay.
So yeah, so thank you so much, and I'll see you soon at 3:30. So see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.